Alright folks, get ready because today's story is a wild one, blending politics and entertainment like never before. You probably heard of John Fetterman, the Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, celebrated for his bold stances on justice, equality, and fair treatment. But what you might not have expected is that Fetterman is now at the center of a legal firestorm involving daytime television. That's right, Fetterman is suing The View host Sunny Hostin, along with the show's producers in a case that's stirring up major buzz. This isn't just another tabloid headline or petty celebrity feud. It's a full-fledged lawsuit that's capturing national attention and sparking debate. So what exactly happened to ignite this legal showdown? Why is it making waves beyond the political and entertainment spheres? Stay tuned, because we're breaking down the drama, exploring the stakes, and uncovering why this case matters to more than just the people directly involved.
About the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is
No, I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial. And now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things. And now for our party, we were talking about criminal justice, and we're now talking about second chances. And now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize.
Let's start with John Fetterman. The Pennsylvania senator is no stranger to the spotlight. Over the years, he's built a reputation as someone unafraid to speak his mind and challenge the status quo. Whether he's standing up for the underrepresented or calling out injustices, Fetterman has consistently shown that he's all about fighting for what's right, including holding the media accountable when he feels lines have been crossed. So, when Fetterman appeared on The View for a taping, most people expected a typical segment avidly discussions on politics, current events, and maybe some light banter. After all, The View is known for its opinionated exchanges, and the hosts, particularly Sunny Hostin, are not shy about sharing their candid thoughts. However, what wasn't expected was a sudden shift in tone that left Fetterman walking away with more than just a few heated words. During the live broadcast, Sunny Hostin reportedly made comments that Fetterman couldn't ignore. While the exact details of what was said remain unclear, given the ongoing legal proceedings, it was enough to prompt a serious legal response. Fetterman claims Hostin's remarks were defamatory, alleging that they damaged his reputation and caused harm that goes beyond mere hurt feelings. This lawsuit isn't just about a controversial interview, it's a bold move in a high-stakes legal battle that's making headlines nationwide.
They had a placebo group, and they had a vaccine group because they wanted for military readiness to see if the flu shot was prophylactic against coronavirus. What they found is actually the people who got the flu shot were 36% more likely to get coronavirus. And that's not a lone study. We found 6 other major studies that say the same thing. If you get the flu shot, you're more likely to get coronavirus. Look, all you have to do, Alan, and this is what Cochrane said, is look what's happened to longevity in the elderly since we started mandating the flu shot to elderly people. Those are the people who their life expectancy has dramatically gone down as the flu shot proliferated. And if you see, the people who died during the COVID crisis.
In today's world, the media wields tremendous power in shaping public perception. When a senator like John Fetterman feels misrepresented or unfairly criticized, it's more than just a personal issue. It sparks a broader conversation about media ethics and accountability. That's precisely why Fetterman's decision to take legal action against The View and host Sunny Hostin is such a significant moment. But why should this matter to us? Sure, it's an intriguing legal squabble, but the implications go far beyond the courtroom. This situation taps into larger issues we all grapple with in an age of social media, 24/7 news cycles, and constant online commentary. It's a prime example of how blurry the line between free speech and defamation can be, and how critical it is for media outlets to exercise caution with their words. Platforms like The View, with their massive reach and influence, have a responsibility to ensure their commentary is fair and accurate. Fetterman's legal move isn't just about him, he's about setting a precedent. It's about holding media outlets accountable for the power they wield. As someone known for his outspoken political career, Fetterman is now using this lawsuit to underscore the importance of ethics in journalism and public discourse. He's making a bold statement. Having a platform doesn't mean you can say anything you want without consequences. Think about it, View reaches millions of viewers daily, with its host's words carrying significant weight. When a statement crosses the line into personal attack or misrepresentation, It's not something that can simply be brushed off. Fetterman argues that the producers of The View should have taken more care and responsibility to avoid airing comments that could cause harm. For him, this isn't just about defending his reputation. It's about ensuring that media outlets understand the impact of their words. This case is more than a legal dispute. It's a wake-up call about the responsibilities that come with influence, the ethics of journalism, and the standards we should demand from the media.
Son, after all, and people do have sympathy for that. But a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
Oh, well, I think it's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump that was political as well too. Now it's that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases, and we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. And it's very clear both trials were politically motivated and weaponized. That on the
Now let's turn to Sunny Hostin. Known for her strong opinions and outspoken nature, she's a recognizable and often polarizing figure on The View. However, in this case, her boldness may have gone too far. Was her remark simply a candid opinion, or did it cross the line into defamation? That's a question for the courts to decide. But the larger issue at play is whether public figures with significant platforms should be allowed to speak without facing consequences for their words. Fetterman's lawsuit isn't just about one comment or one show. It highlights the broader issue of media accountability in an era where misinformation can spread like wildfire. His legal action raises important questions about how the media shapes public opinion and what happens when those opinions are rooted in false or harmful information. In today's world, where a single statement can go viral in seconds, the stakes for responsible journalism have never been higher. This case underscores the critical need for media figures to wield their influence carefully.
In a new Netflix documentary series about New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, he said he's heartbroken about friends and family cutting him off for his controversial political views and conspiracy theories. And a lot of Americans can relate to this, especially after this last election. So, do you think it happens everywhere?
What I recall about him is when he was asked about the COVID-19 pandemic, during the height of the pandemic, when people had lost loved ones, when people's family members were missing from their Thanksgiving table, like my table, he said, "I'm immunized." And as it turns out, he was not. He had done his own research. He has his Google MD like I do. And I think he said he was allergic to something in the vaccine, but he had COVID and he was in a huddle with his teammates. And I think people felt like, wow, you don't care. You're not your brother's keeper.
This could really, this
That's
could
what
really
I think
turn
it
me
was
against
a morality.
Let's zoom out and consider the larger implications of this lawsuit. This situation underscores the ongoing balancing act between free speech and defamation. On one hand, we cherish the right to express opinions freely, to a cornerstone of democracy. On the other hand, we must also protect individuals from harm caused by false or malicious statements. Fetterman's case brings this delicate balance into sharp focus. As this case progresses, it could set a significant precedent for future legal battles involving public figures, the media, and the line between free speech and slander. In today's world, where information spreads in an instant, it's more important than ever to recognize the real impact words can have, especially when those words are broadcast to millions of people. So what do you think? Did The View cross the line with this remark, or is Fetterman overreacting? Is he taking a necessary stand, or is this all just an effort to control his public image? This case touches on many important issues, from defamation laws and media ethics to the role of politics in public discourse. It's a fascinating question that raises significant concerns about how we navigate speech, responsibility, and accountability in the media.
In a million years, I would not take the flu shot, and I'll tell you why, because this is what Cochrane and BMJ have found. People who take the flu shot are protected against that strain of flu. They're 4.4 times more likely to get a non-flu infection. And you might find, and a lot of people do, that they get the flu shot and then they get sick. They're usually not getting the flu. They're getting something that is indistinguishable from the flu, because the flu shot gives you something called pathogenic priming. It injures your immune system so that you're more likely to get a non-flu viral upper respiratory infection. In fact, the Pentagon published a story, and you can cite this, it's by Wolfe, W-O-L-F-E, in January of this year, in which they said that the flu shot not only primes you for flu, but it primes you for corona.
Regardless of where you stand on the issue, one thing is clear. This lawsuit is more than just a personal dispute between Fetterman and The View. He's part of a larger conversation about media responsibility and the power to shape public opinion. As the case unfolds, this conversation is bound to grow louder, with legal experts already weighing in on how the outcome could influence how the media covers public figures in the future. The rest of us will be closely following the updates, waiting to see if Fetterman's charges hold up in court or if this will fade into just another fleeting dispute. What's certain is that we're witnessing the intersection of politics, media, and law unfold in real time, and it's a story that will have lasting implications for how we understand media influence, free speech, and the limits of public discourse. This case has lasting implications for how we navigate public discourse moving forward. So, where do you stand on this? Do you think Fetterman is justified in taking legal action? Or is it much ado about nothing, whether you're interested in the political drama, media ethics, or just enjoy a good legal showdown? This story is sure to keep us talking. It's a conversation that touches on accountability, free speech, and the role of the media in shaping public opinion. Stay tuned for the latest updates as this dramatic saga